welcome to the first episode.
Redo it. I was fucking with my mic. I'm sure it was fingering it, making noise.
All right. Guys, welcome to the first episode of Saiyin Tales, podcast about everything Dragon Ball Z. We're gonna be going through the books, reviewing about them, talking about them, and I got none other than the person I know as a Dragon Ball expert, my guy Brady.
The buff. We're gonna be taking a look at Akira Toriyama and what this man be putting when he puts that magical pen to the paper since the 80s.
Yes, sir. Now, before we get started, just to learn a little bit more about us and our journey with Dragon Ball, I didn't really know much about it until college, until I met Brady and he told me about it, showed me the shows and stuff. I had known of it a little bit growing up, but I never ever really watched the shows or let alone read the books. So what got you into?
I mean, honestly, dude, I think I was I was in elementary school. Me and my brother were just shopping with our mom. And we walked into a Barnes & Noble, and honestly, it was either, for some reason my mind is trying to say it was either I got a book at a garage sale for $1, the first one. Mm-hmm. I think that was it. We just picked up a random book at a garage sale and it happened to be the first volume of Dragon Ball. And then after that, we just read it and we just got hooked. We were in elementary school, so it's something that I kind of discovered with my older brother. And funny enough, I've always had an idea of us getting matching Dragon Ball Z tattoos. Hasn't really been talked about in a couple of years, but that was always the plan. But no, we got into
Shout out
it.
Brandon.
Yeah, we got into it in elementary school and kind of just took off from there. Every time we'd go to the shopping mall, we would just run off and hide in Barnes & Nobles, and my mom knew she could find us there because we didn't have money to buy the books, so we would just go there for an hour. And I remember by the time she made us stop, we were on book 6 or 7.
Right.
Yeah.
They're quick.
But no, dude, I've been reading all my life, Dragon Ball, and that spiraled me into getting into other mangas and different animes. But Dragon Ball's definitely just always been the one that has just been super badass. I remember being in 10th grade, and I don't think Memo knows about this because this is pretty deep into the lore and back in the day. But man, going on YouTube in 2010 and Googling Super Saiyan 5 and 6, that shit don't exist. But fan-made art used to go crazy before it because I'm going too deep. Dragon Ball Z, all about it. Still rep it to this day. I just bought the new Dragon Ball Z Primitive Collection shirts and stuff, so definitely a very avid supporter still. Super. I'm caught up, so it's coming out still, so we're on it.
Dragon Ball Super, yeah.
Dragon Ball Daima, all of that, yeah. Well, I need to watch 2 or 3 episodes, honestly. I'm behind a little.
Facts.
We'll watch that tonight.
Yes, sir. But so many others, it took over the world, and we'll get into it. So just before even getting into Dragon Ball, a little bit of history. You probably know the character of Goku was based off a character in a story called Journey to the West, which is from the 16th century China, I believe.
Yeah, Sun Wukong.
Yeah, exactly. And it's this Monkey King character that also has a staff.
The Nimbo, yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know, I found that interesting just because, it's a modern take of, an old story, and that's always interesting.
Yeah.
Going back. But yeah, so just getting right into it, we start off our journey being introduced to the character of Goku, and he is in the middle of just doing his regular everyday thing. He's getting food, I believe.
Yeah, no, he's doing both because in the first panels he's chopping up wood for the firewood, but then the second panel, maybe not even the second, but a couple panels after, he goes and tackles a big fish and his pee-pee's out.
Yeah. So immediately we're who is this child? Why is he alone? How? And we discover his strength right away.
Yeah, and then you see when he's got the big saw on his back in the first panel, and it's describing in the mountains in a faraway place, and then you see the monkey and then the monkey's child, and they just see Goku whistling along, probably a 3-foot kid on about 20 feet diameter log, just rolling it with a saw that's about 15 feet. Mm-hmm. And then they're just looking at him because they're like, who's this human with a tail?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
the monkey's like, is that my brother? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's funny that you point out the monkey. I never really like noticed that, but I think it could be like a nod back to the original like Monkey King. And
100%.
They look at him and they, like you said, they see the tail and they're like, what the hell? Like they've never seen humans with like features like them like that before.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it really is just alluding to let us know that he's not any normal human. He's not a normal boy. It's something out of the ordinary that they've never seen before.
From the jump.
Yeah.
And then we're introduced to our second character, Boma, in like the most like in-your-face way. She's driving.
She was out here driving like a Nissan Altima driver in Atlanta, bro. She whammed him.
Runs into him, and I believe even starts to shoot at him.
Yeah, no, I mean, so it's because she hit him, and then he's like, "Ow, what the heck?" And then he gets like his big head. He's like, he'd never seen a car before. He's a rural boy. He's in the mountains. We don't know anything about him except right now he's chopping up wood, doing some very basic survival techniques.
Yeah.
And then he sees a car and he calls it a monster right away. So obviously we know he is not civilized.
Exactly. We see like this kid is off the grid, doesn't even know what a car is.
But yeah, she shoots him after he picks up her car, throws it, then she shoots him. And she's like, what the hell? Yeah. Actually, no, she shoots him before he throws it. And that's why he threw it.
Yeah, then he thinks it's like the car attacking him, and he's just like, hey, mean car, like, and throws the car. And we've really, like, his strength is solidified there. Like, you could assume maybe a log is not that heavy, whatever, but like, this is a full-on car that this young boy is throwing. And along with us, Boma discovers how strong this kid is, and they kind of start speaking, and this is the first girl that Goku ever meets. So we're just like, we are just in like awe and wonderment of who this character is, and like why he knows so little about everything.
Well, he knows so little. He literally had to discover what a girl was. And one of the funniest scenes, growing up as a kid, is when he did that. He freaking pat.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if he he didn't even. I don't even think he patted her. She was just like, I'm a girl. And then he was like, oh my God, a girl. Grandpa Gohan's taught me about girls. Yeah. And that kind of introduces us to our third character inadvertently, Grandpa Gohan, who we'll get into later. But yeah, he's like, you're a girl. And then he's like, where's your tail? Who cut off your tail?
Yeah. And that's the thing. I was also surprised, but I didn't expect it to be this funny.
Yeah.
Like every page is like, there's like either one joke of like hidden innuendo, which... it's different times as the 80s.
Hey, it's Japan, bro. Yeah. Who knows what Akira was having fun.
But I definitely know, like, to be a kid in that time and, like, be able to read this, like, I know you were hyped because, like, you probably just started, like, thinking about girls in that way. And, like, there's this character that, we all had a crush on, like, the cartoon character or whatever when we were younger.
Yeah.
And I promise you, Boma was that to a lot of kids. A lot of Japanese kids growing up.
Akira got to chill on John that stuff.
Right. he definitely got better throughout the volumes, but later on we meet one character that is like the essence of like frecura.
Bruh, phrasing, bro. This man, you say he got better at drawing. I think he got more detailed with his drawings, dude.
All right, and then so they kind of spark like a conversation and a little bit of a friendship, and Goku says, I got this big fish. You're a girl,
Grandpa Gohan taught me to treat girls right.
Exactly.
Takes them to her house to feed her.
And then we go inside this little, very small, like, hut of a house.
That's a studio if I've ever seen a studio.
Yeah, and then we see that Goku goes straight to this ball, and we obviously don't know what it is. But Bulma is immediately like, it is it. Like, that is the Dragon Ball. And obviously from her excitement, we're being yelled at, like, this is important. And so from that first meeting of the Dragon Ball, like you said, Goku's referring to it as Grandpa. And we're like, what the? Like, is this a human? Is this a ball? Like, what is this thing?
This dude's fear is his grandpa.
That's what he thinks. And then it's when Bulma explains to us what the Dragon Balls are and the whole hit. I'll let you explain.
Yeah. So I mean, she talks about the whole lore of the Dragon Balls. Basically, 7 ancient mystical orbs that you gather because they're spread across the world, and once you gather them, you can summon the eternal dragon Shenlong, and then he'll grant you any wish you want. Is how it goes. And I believe she had also like added a little bit of lore. To where, let me confirm too, but after I say it, she said the last person that had it was like a king in the ancient kingdom. He wished for like a bunch of riches. Let's see.
Yeah. Well.
Nah, she doesn't even mention it actually. So I think that might low key be some anime lore. Sorry, getting my references mixed up. We're talking about manga only right now.
Yeah, no worries. But we learned that the reason that she's so excited is because she herself is currently on a quest to find the 7 Dragon Balls, and I believe she only has 2. And this would be the 3rd one if Goku is willing to.
She found her first one in her attic.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember that.
And if y'all know how the Dragon Balls get scattered, how the hell it ended up in her attic is crazy. You must have punched a hole in the wall or something, bro.
Bro, thinking about that. And so, what was I saying? So,
she was amazed. It was the 3rd ball that she had found.
The 3rd ball that she finds, and she's thinking like, "Oh, I'm gonna get it," and like, not so fast. Goku's like,
she's like, "Gimme!"
Yeah, and like Goku's like, "That's my grandpa. Like, you're not having, like, you're not taking my grandpa. Like, what do you mean? Like, fuck out of here." And then she's like, "All right, like, I'll exchange it for you." And then this is even more of like the freshness and like the freaking 80s. Like, she was like, "I'll exchange you for it," and she like raises her dress and like shows her butt to Goku, and obviously he's a kid, and
he said, "Why do I want to touch your dirty butt?"
Literally, why would I want to touch your dirty butt? And Bulma's low key a freak. That's all I'm gonna say. And so Goku agrees to help her, and he's thinking, but he agrees to help her under the condition that both of them know that he's not giving up his Dragon Ball. And she says yes, even though she thinks in her mind, her perspective is, I'm going to use this, strong fool as a tool just to help me on my quest. And that's
right.
It. Right? So, they go on, they agree, we're going to go on this quest. She has her main goal, and he has his main goal, which is, I guess, just to help her. And so she fucking whips out a capsule from her pocket, like, which even to think about in the 80s, just how creative Akira was, just to think of like a capsule that explodes into a whole like motorbike.
People in the 80s really thought 2020 we was going to have flying cars and everything. If we had a capsule right now, bro, dude, talk about traveling, a cinch, bro. You can take everything. You can take your house with you, dude. Pop up Bora Bora.
No worrying about parking, none of that.
No, but she did. She popped out a capsule and more black magic, and Goku's just like, "You're a witch, you're a demon, you're a monster, what is this?" She popped out of her capsule a motorcycle, and he's like, "Another monster," because he doesn't know what motor vehicles are, so he's just like, "Boom, another monster, how'd you do that?" And he whips out his staff, and he's a little skeptical, but then he gets on it, and as soon as it takes off, dude's having the time of his life. Instant man mode, he went high speed motorcycle, he went woo. Yeah, he had fun.
Yeah, we see that it definitely has a little kick to it, and immediately the Bulma has to use the bathroom. She takes a little piss break, and while on that, she is grabbed by like a dinosaur.
It's a pterodactyl.
Yeah, like a pterodactyl, and
pterodactyls exist there.
Yeah, exactly.
Dinosaurs exist,
and Goku is like, "Is this your friend?" And
Nah. No. She is going to the bathroom. She's out of sight. She screams for help. Goku goes up to the tree she's peeing at, and it's a giant pterodactyl, and he's got her like literally like grabbed up against his arms, and he's like so oblivious and innocent. Obviously, he didn't even know what a woman was. He's seen only one other human, Grandpa Gohan.
Yeah.
I assume. And then he's like, "Is this your friend?" And he's like, she's just like, "No." And he's like, yes. And he's like, "Okay, have fun." And they fly away, and then she's like, "You idiot!" And that's where the Nimbo pops out, bro. Shows its first showcase.
Yeah, I have a couple of things to say to that. That was just a perfect like Goku moment. Of just like he's just a lovable dummy.
He's a gullible, silly goose.
Gullible, silly like kid. And I have always loved his the Nimbo.
Yeah.
I think that tool or like that weapon was so cool, and like I feel like I'm not gonna say what happens later on, but I feel like I wish you would have used him more.
Yeah. Well, I think there's definitely some more opportunity, but we'll get into that a little bit later and why that opportunity didn't really arise as much.
Yeah, and even the Nimble comes from Journey to the West as the main Sun.
That's the main weapon of Sun Wukong.
Sun Wukong, yeah, exactly. And so, like, immediately,
he extends that bad boy because he sees she's actually in trouble, so he tells it to extend, and that's what the staff does. He literally talks to it. Is this staff right here? He literally just talks to it, and it extends and retracts, and it can go all the way to the moon, is what the legends say. So it really just reads his mind. This pterodactyl is probably like 200 yards in front of him. He just said extend. Boom. Cracked it right on the neck. Head. Broke off its like little spine thing it had on its neck. Point, and then Bulma dropped and then got stuck on a tree. And that's where she finally released her piss. And she just peed right into the ground.
Yep. He uses the staff to like almost
catch her,
scarecrow like.
You're right. That's what it was, not a tree.
Her freaking like sleeves to like scarecrow catch her, and
that takes skill right there.
Yeah, she releases a pee and he's just like doesn't miss a beat like Goku. Like this is what he does.
He's just just laughing.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's the first chapter, and I think. Even Toriyama does a little. He says, "Remember your Chinese fairy tales? You don't. Not even the impish Monkey King and his magic staff Nibbu. Oh well, drop it next time and you'll learn." So he even himself does a reference to like the original work of art that he was inspired by, and that is the first chapter. And you're immediately like. I want to continue this quest.
Right.
Because you are introduced to the Dragon Balls. We learn what they are, what they can do, and learn a little bit about our characters. We learn that Goku has strength and courage, even though he's a little gullible. And we learned that through subtleness that the fact that Bulma has a Dragon Ball tracker is something that we're kind of told that it puts her ahead of other people, because if everybody had that, it would, everybody would be after it.
And we know she's a genius because she said she built it.
Exactly. So, we're getting to like know these characters and like really like learn the ins and out. And for a first chapter, I thought it was good.
No, I mean it definitely is really good, and I do like how he does allude to Sun Wukong, and I think it's just really funny because if you don't know, Sun Wukong is a traditional Chinese proverb tale, and manga is Japanese.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see that he took some inspiration from China and brought it over to Japan and was able to take it as far as he can. It's just crazy to see how it's just blown up since its inception.
Bro, literally, even until this day, Dragon Ball has an effect, because I sent you what they had on for the China versus Japan FIFA. I think that is the coolest, like one of the coolest posters. It's literally like a point of view, not like a back view of what we assume to be I keep forgetting.
Sun Wukong.
Sun Wukong. Looking up from a soccer stadium up into the sky, up into the night sky, to see a Super Saiyan Goku. And I'll add like the image in the video, but it's just cool and just goes to show like, bro, this has had a freaking neck. What's that thing? What's that?
Brolic? Oh, chokehold. Yeah,
Has
chokehold.
had a chokehold on society for decades.
Well, especially Latin America, my guy.
Bro, like the fact that even till this day, like there's references on like professional, like, you know, this is professional sports and they're referencing manga. You would never expect.
I mean,
but,
there's so many. There's literally professional athletes that go out and pretend to go Super Saiyan, and like they say that Vegeta or I mean Goku is their favorite character, and you know there's just so many different. There's so many different references, and then the fact that how relevant it still is. I mean, Goku's in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade here in New York.
hell yeah.
The only other, like, what other character, cartoon, animated character is in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Like, I mean, Charlie Brown, dude. Like, Charlie Brown is America's staple.
Character.
Goku is the staple. And then the fact that Dragon Ball Z is so powerful enough in Japan that they literally chose it to represent them for the Olympics. That's, I think that itself also just speaks crazy volumes. And then, I mean, you know, remember when we went to Mexico just earlier, like last month, I told you, like, I knew exactly where some Dragon Ball Z figures were because they're everywhere in Latin America. Dragon Ball Z is bigger than life in Latin America, bro. My nephews have almost as much Dragon Ball Z shirts and stuff as me. It's funny. It's crazy. Their unlicensed merchandise is a little bit better, bro. Homie had a whole manga panel of fights on a jumpsuit, bro. Like, where can I find that in America?
Yeah. Facts. Shout out that. And I think the reason it resonates is because it's a story that's entertaining, but it still holds like good values of like friendship and never giving up, putting your 100%. Like, these are values every kid should hold. Like,
there's a lot of morality in it too.
Yeah. And so, if you're just starting the journey, if this is your 6th, 7th, 8th time reading Dragon Ball, come along with us. There's a lot of story to tell. We are just very much at the very, very beginning. So if you are interested and want to hear more about Dragon Ball, our opinions, what we think, what we experienced, continue watching. Let us know.
Yeah, and one last thing, I think it's really funny. Something I've always noticed is I think it's so interesting, and I want to know why Akira Toriyama, one, decided to draw Goku in yellow gold. And this one, he, even, spoiler alert, through the entire series of all the series, even the non-canon, everything, he's never worn yellow like that. He's worn yellow pants in GT. But that was it. This is a whole full suit. And then in the back, he's in his normal orange.
Yeah.
Which I wonder what made Akira choose the color orange. And
For the cover?
No, like his regular costume. We'll get into this costume doesn't come into play until you know when he meets Mr. Mutton. But we'll talk about that later. But I just wonder how he came up with why the color orange, because it's so iconic now.
Yeah.
You see a bright orange shirt, like 7 out of 10 times it's a Dragon Ball Z shirt. Honestly, 9 out of 10 times, like always.
Yeah, I feel like I wish there was a documentary on the creation of Dragon Ball, but I feel like being like Japanese society and like their culture is a lot more like humble, and they don't really like talking about their successes. Like, I'm sure there's only a handful of interviews with this guy. Yeah,
well, I mean, to be honest, but I mean, real quick, I mean, first episode, shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Akira Toriyama, rest in peace. That was definitely tragic when I found out about his passing. This dude basically created my childhood. I'm serious when I remember being in like 3rd grade and just like being bored in class and like thinking up and being like, man, what if Frieza attacked the Earth right now? And he just like threw a ball of energy in my school, blew a hole in the ceiling, and I was just like, it's my time. And I go Super Saiyan. I fly up there and I save the day. Like, that was seriously like a little like daydream I had like multiple times in elementary school. And I know everybody else is doing it because I've seen people put videos of themselves trying to go Super Saiyan on YouTube. Now, I wasn't that dumb looking. Like, this is in my brain. Y'all just look silly. Yeah, bro, just like that one infamous video that kid's like, nah, bro, y'all was trifling. Y'all was trifling, bro. His temple was throbbing.
Yeah, like that's iconic. Going Super Saiyan, like everybody knows that. Yeah. If you don't know Dragon Ball, you still know that.
And if you want to know what that is, you're just gonna have to keep following along.
Keep following. The story continues.
The tales continue.
The tales continue. Until next time.